this moment, in this place, I remember who I am, letting fear and worry fall away from me. I open my eyes and see there is only love. There is only love. Love that heals, love that sets us free. There is only love. When I lose myself, when it seems I've lost my way, when I go inside and quiet my mind, I can hear Spirit gently say, there is only love. There is only love. It's love that heals, love that sets us free. There is only love. There is only love. There is only love. Love that heals, love that sets us free. There is only love. There is only love. There is only love. There is only love. It's the love that heals, the love that sets me free. There is only love. There is only love. There is only love. Love that heals, love that sets me free. There is only love. 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 There is only
There is Only Love by Karen Drucker. I'd like to welcome you to today's online worship experience for Trinity Church, United Church of Christ, located in Canal Fulton, Ohio. Wherever you may be viewing from, in Canal Fulton or on the other side of the world, we're glad that you've chosen to come and spend this sacred time with us. That's the beauty of God's Holy Spirit, that there are no walls, there are no borders, there are no distinctions or separations between us, that God is capable of drawing together people from such diverse backgrounds and life experiences and life stories and shaping them into a unique, beautiful community of faith. And every time two or three have gathered together in that spirit of love and anticipation, miracles can happen. And so I invite you to enjoy this time that God has set aside for us to share together. Today is my last Sunday as the pastor of Trinity Church, United Church of Christ. And today marks the last day of 8.5 years of doing ministry among a remarkably beautiful group of people who I have come to know and love very well. And I am truly grateful, truly heartfelt grateful for having been entrusted with the spiritual care of this congregation. I know there are many things that I have not done right, and for that I seek forgiveness. But I do believe, as I reflect back on the last 8.5 years, that I have sincerely and genuinely sought to provide this congregation, these children of God, with an opportunity to experience faith and discipleship and the joy of knowing who they truly are as children of God, an opportunity to experience a more excellent way of discovering our faith. And I don't know of another phrase that is more appropriate for reflecting on the last 8.5 years together than that song that we opened with, There Is Only Love, and the powerful message that it conveys and the responsibility that we have as a community of faith to be very clear about the message that we send to the world about who we are and what our mission and our intention is. That is why I have truly enjoyed being a part of Trinity Church, and I am profoundly grateful for having been entrusted with some of the most intimate stories and life experiences of these children of God. I have had the privilege of laughing with them in good times, and I have also had the privilege of holding them in my arms and weeping with them in times of great distress and heartbreak. I have enjoyed immensely shepherding and teaching those whose interest and whose desire to awaken to a deeper spiritual reality brought us together in a program called Return to Eden, something that I'm going to continue to present and develop and offer to folks outside the small boundaries of a church building as these months unfold. Something that you might want to keep an ear open for, as I will be continuing to make myself available online in the fall. Anyway, I have truly appreciated spending these 8.5 years with this congregation, and I wish them nothing but the best and God's speed and God's blessings on them as they chart their future and dream God's dream for what their purpose and what their mission is going to be in this next chapter of their church's story. Today, we are going to have a different kind of worship video. I've talked for 8.5 years. There's just really nothing new that I can say. The people of Trinity Church, they know what I'm about, and they know that I have spoken a genuine message from my heart to them. And I hope they have heard the still small voice of God speaking through me to warm their hearts and souls. But today I'm going to use music and images, some of my favorite music videos, to convey the depth and the beauty of this more excellent way message that I have carried and tried to embody with this congregation. And it's a beautiful message, and it's genuine, and it's true, and it's real. And I think as we go through the video today, that you'll begin to feel your heart and your soul glowing with that joy that comes from your soul knowing who it really is and who it belongs to, and that we were made to experience joy in the heart of God. Oh, by the way, in case you're wondering about my attire, this t-shirt was given to me by my wife a couple years ago for Christmas, and I warned her that eventually I would pull it out of the closet and wear it, and I thought, today's the best day to do it. So today's worship video is brought to you by the Sermonator. Not sure how intimidating that is, but nonetheless, it is a testimony and a witness of gratitude to my wife for holding me up, carrying me through, being a constant source of encouragement and support, and loving me through the tough times. And it has been a real adventure. And we are so grateful to have shared these years with the folks at Trinity. So, honey, I thank you, and I express my love to you for loving this congregation with me. The next video that you are about to see is a song that first appeared in a communion service a few years ago. I chose to use it during communion because it made a clear statement about how we fit so clearly into God's hands and into God's heart, that we are viewed by God as an extension of God's creative love, and nothing can change that. Unfortunately, that's not the message that a lot of people have heard from religion, especially Christianity. We've been taught that we are bad and broken and sinful, and that we are corrupt, and that we have to spend our whole lives trying to please God and make God love us. And that can be so devastating and painful for people. And it's not true. And that's what's so hard, is trying to open people's minds and imaginations to think about the possibilities that there's another way of looking at God and another way of looking at ourselves. So this next song is entitled, it's a song for the inner child. How could anyone ever tell you that you are anything less than beautiful? Listen to the words, not just with your ears, but with your soul, because it knows. It knows the truth.
your loving is a miracle. How deeply you're connected to my soul. How could anyone ever tell you you were anything less than beautiful? How could anyone ever tell you you were less than whole? How could anyone fail to notice that your loving is a miracle? How deeply you're connected to my soul.
In the first chapter of Genesis, the storyteller says, God spoke and said, let's make humanity in our image, reflecting our nature, so they can be responsible for the fish in the sea, the birds in the air, the cattle, and yes, even earth itself, and every animal that moves on the face of the earth. God created human beings. God created them in the image of God's self, reflecting God's true nature. God created them, male and female. God blessed them and said, prosper, reproduce, fill the earth, take charge. Be responsible for fish in the sea, birds in the air, and every living thing that moves on the face of my earth. And God said, I've given you every sort of seed-bearing plant on earth, and every kind of fruit tree. To all the animals and all the birds, everything that moves and breathes, I give whatever grows out of the ground for food. And there it was. And God looked over everything that God had created. And behold, it was very, very good. This is who we are. We are created in the image of God. The next song that you're going to hear comes from Michael Gungor and his wife Lisa. This was a song that we played about 3 years ago at our Ash Wednesday service, and we've played it every year at Ash Wednesday since, because the message is just so beautiful and powerful. God doesn't make junk. God makes beautiful things.
All this pain, I wonder if I'll ever find my way. I wonder if my life could really change at all. All this earth, could all that is lost ever be found? Could a garden come up from this ground at all? You make beautiful things. You make beautiful things out of the dust. You make beautiful things. You make beautiful springing up from this old ground. Out of chaos, life is being found in you. You make beautiful things. You make beautiful things out of the dust. You make beautiful things. You make beautiful things out of us. Oh, you make beautiful things. You make beautiful things out of the dust. You make beautiful things. You make beautiful things out of You make me new. You are making me new. You make me new. You are making me new. Making me new. You make beautiful things. You make beautiful things out of the dust. You make beautiful things. You make beautiful things out of us. Oh, you make beautiful things. You make beautiful things out of the
God does make beautiful things, and you are one of them. Unfortunately, many of us have grown into our faith believing that we are separated from God. And as a result, we've come to have a very low image of ourselves. What if God doesn't share that view? What if God only sees what God created, in the love in which God created it? How would that change the way you feel about yourself and about your value in the heart of God? What if there was nothing that you could ever do to separate your heart and your soul from the imagination and the unconditional love of God? How would that change the way you view yourself? Jan Phillips, a wonderful theologian, writer, and songwriter, shares these words of insight and some amazing images that hopefully will expand your mind and remind you about a deep truth about who you are and how you can think of yourself.
Think of yourself as a thought of the Infinite One, made flesh by your sheer desire to see and be seen. Think of yourself as nature, looking upon nature, in awe at its grandeur, in tears for its wounds, nature loving itself, healing itself, speaking out for itself. Think of yourself as a vessel of stardust and clay, a child of the cosmos, transforming energy into matter, wave into particle, mortal into immortal. Think of yourself as a soul who took on a body to be of use, to radiate love and receive it in return. Think of yourself as necessary, purposeful. Remember that you came here to light the world. Think of yourself as a shaman whose hands heal whatever they touch, as a storyteller whose words fall like rain on a drought-stricken land, whose stories are medicine, miracles that heal the sick and raise the dead. Think of yourself as a circle holding yin and yang, as unity cradling the dualities in your arms. Think of yourself as a thought leaning toward radiance, an early dawn rising into daylight. Deep inside you, the fire of creation burns day and night. Atoms forged from the Big Bang spin and swirl in your blood and bones, your lungs and your legs. Like salt in the tear, joy in the laughter, the Holy One is in you, being scattered like seeds across the land as you speak and write and reach out to touch. You are the hands and feet, the eyes and ears of the great beloved. You are the one we are waiting for. Your stories are the ones we are waiting to hear. It is time now for each of us to speak, to say what happened and what we learned. To reveal ourselves is to heal ourselves, and to heal ourselves is to heal each other and the world entire. From our revelations of intimacy and truthfulness, vulnerability and generosity, the future takes shape and enters into us. Our words made flesh, our thoughts made real. Yes, think of yourself as a creator, the peace you desire, the justice you cry out for. These will come as we speak them into being. As the cosmos is being created by the mind of the Infinite One, this world is being created by the minds of the finite ones, by us. Let us be mindful and full of care for the words we speak, the thoughts we think, the stories we tell, for these are the tools with which we build tomorrow.
Every time I watch that video, I always catch myself with my mouth hanging open, and I feel such a glow of spiritual energy. I don't know how else to put it. Almost like I'm connected with something so much bigger than myself. It's almost as though there's something deep inside of me that connects so passionately with that message, that you and I are made of stardust, and we are the product of God's imagination, and we have so much more spiritual power than we ever knew possible, because we've not been told just how much spiritual energy we've been given, because we are in the heart of God. The next song that you're about to hear is from Daniel Namod, entitled "Love is My Decision." And when we remember who we are and in whose image we are created, and when we affirm without question that God is love, unconditional love, then that means we are too. And our spiritual journey is making the conscious decision to love.
Love is my decision. It's up to me to give of my heart. Love is my decision. No one else can tell me to start. And once I decide to change my mind, God will show me how. Love is my decision, right here and now. Love is my decision. It's up to me to stand on that bridge. Love is my decision. No one else can make me forgive. And once I decide to change my mind, God will show me how. Love is my decision, right here and now. Love is my decision. It's up to me to dance down the road. Love is my decision. No one else can lighten my load. And once I decide to change my mind, God will show me how. Love is my decision, right here and now. Love is my decision. It's up to me to dance down the road. Love is my decision. No one else can lighten my load. And one decision right here and now.
So if there is no separation between us and the heart of God, if we are made of stardust and are the product of God's creative imagination, and if God is still creating and the universe is still expanding, then if we are a part of that whole process, then we are united not only with the heart of God, but with the imagination of God. There is no separation between us and what God creates. We are all truly one.
Just like the very first moment.
When time and space exploded into being.
My life, just as it is right now, is a perfect expression of divine love.
Every dark night, every sunrise, every backstep, every happiness.
Like the stars, the moon, the earth, the trees,
the oceans,
The creatures and all human beings, past, present, and future.
everything visible without exception,
Everything visible, without exception, is the outpouring of God.
the first cries of a newborn,
Skyscrapers at night, the memory of a kiss.
Blooming wildflowers after a forest fire.
a cup of coffee, rice and beans,
The quiet hum of a washing machine.
Dancing barefoot.
Patterns on the wings of butterflies.
The gifts of healing passed down from my ancestors.
the sound of a drum in the hands that strike it.
in all of creation, there is a unifying heartbeat.
One word for it is Christ.
One word for it is Christ.
One word for it is Christ.
It includes everyone.
it excludes no one.
No one.
Christ is not Jesus' last name, but the blueprint for all of reality.
For the Big Bang and everything after.
Christ is wherever ordinary matter and spirit meet.
Christ is wherever the divine unites with the human.
Jesus broke bread and said, "This is my body." He lifted a cup and said, "This is my blood."
God loves things by becoming them.
By taking on physicality, flesh, tears, blood.
The body of Christ is not somewhere out there. It's in you. It's in me.
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 Here and now.
Christ in the high school student afraid to go back to school.
Christ in the heart of a woman marching for change.
Christ in the gay couple searching for a church.
Christ in the inmate alone in her cell.
Christ in the immigrant family waiting under a blue tarp.
Christ in the soldier a long way from home.
Christ in the one who hears voices diagnosed with mental illness. Christ in the single mother-to-be.
Christ in the black father teaching his young son about race.
Christ in whatever holds quarks together.
To be a Christian
To be a Christian.
To be one with Christ.
To be a Christian is to see Christ in everything.
In everything.
In everything.
The group Playing for Change features several different musicians, professionals as well as amateurs, and a lot of children from very different walks of life, different places around the world, all coming together with music to demonstrate that there is a more excellent way to live, to love, and even to believe. Playing for Change is one of my favorite groups because it does a wonderful job of presenting the variety, the diversity, and the power of what happens when we work together in a spirit of cooperation and love.
Everybody's got to live together. All the people got to understand. Love your neighbor like you love your brother. Come on and join the band. All you need is love and understanding. Ring the bell and let the people know. We're so happy and we're celebrating. Let the feeling show. Love is all you need. 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 Love is all Makes you happy that we're all together at the ball in nature's countryside. And although we're wearing different faces, nobody wants to hide. Love is all you need. 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 All you need is love and understanding. Ring the bell and let the people know. So love your neighbor like you love your brother. Let your feelings show. Love is all you need. 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 Love is all you need.
As I look back over the last 8.5 years of ministry at Trinity Church in Canal Fulton, there really is one word that describes my feelings as I prepare to move forward with my ministry and where God is calling me. As I think about all the experiences and all the memories that have been created, the lives that have been touched by me and the lives that have touched mine, all I can say is that I am truly, truly grateful.
You're my life, you're my breath, you're a smile, you're my guest. You're the earth, you're the sun, you're the grass, you are love. You're my hand, you're a bug, you're my eyes, you're a hug. You're the light in the dark, you're the spark, you are fun. You're my mom, you are water, you're the stars, you're my daughter. You're my friend till the end, you're my dreams, you're my father. You're the ants on the ground, the miracles that surround. I'm feeling it all around. You're the strength when I'm hollow. You're the path that I follow. You're the blessings that exist, the small things that are bliss, the gift to realize that everything
All
is a
that
gift.
I am, all that I see, all that I've been, and all that I'll ever be is a blessing. It's so amazing, and I'm grateful for it all, for it all. Grateful for it all.
You're the blessings every time I try to count. You're the lessons that I learn every time I turn around. You're the water when I'm burned every time I think I found everything I'm looking for. You're the sign saying stop to take a bow and keep moving forward and start looking towards your heart. It'll open all the doors and only then you'll start to hear the world singing chorus with your mind and heart aligned in purpose. Everything
All
will feel
that I
gorgeous.
am, all that I see, all that I've been, and all that I'll ever be is a blessing. It's so amazing, and I'm grateful for it all, for it all.
Every day I sit and pray cause what I have is more than I deserve or could ever imagine. How do I give back to all of this magic and spread the love so everybody can have it? Doesn't matter if I'm rich or poor, if I got a family or if I'm all alone. Bad things happen, I can just complain and moan. But there's a million things that I can be grateful for.
So I lift up my hands now, and I open my heart, and my gratitude goes out to everything near and far. All that I am,
Everything I am and everything I see, everything I hope and everything I dream, everything I feel and everything I be. I look deep down and feel all the blessings. Everything I am and everything I see, everything I hope and everything I dream, everything I feel and everything I be. I'm grateful for it all. It's amazing. Everything I am and everything I see, everything I hope and everything I dream, everything I feel and everything I be. I look deep down and feel all the blessings. Everything I am and everything I see, everything I hope and everything I dream, everything I feel and everything I be. I'm grateful for it all. It's amazing. You're the blessings that exist, the small things that are bliss, the gift to realize that everything is a gift.
Wait, one more. This is for y'all.
all that I am.
All that I see.
All that I've been.
It's a blessing,
It's so amazing.
I am glad
Well, I thank you for spending this time with me on this sacred journey today, reflecting on the power of love and how it can change our perception of who God is and who we are in the heart of God, and perhaps even awaken our souls a little bit more to the potential and the possibilities that exist when we change our minds about our relationship with the divine and what we're put on this earth to do. I imagine it is natural when we move from one reality to another in our life, as we transition from one place to the next, that we look back over our shoulder and trace our footsteps and do an evaluation of ourselves and our journey to assess whether or not we have accomplished what we were put on this earth to do. And I do the same as I look back over the last 8.5 years with Trinity. Have I accomplished what God sent me there to do? And in my heart, I believe that I have indeed done what God needed me to do. And with that, I can move forward peacefully and with nothing but gratitude and warmth in my heart for the time of my life that I leave behind in this special place. The next song that you're about to hear is called Last Song, and it perfectly describes how it feels to make a decision in your own soul about what really matters in your life and what's worth investing your energy, your time, your effort, your dreams, and your deepest self in helping to create. And you hope that when it's all said and done, that you're leaving behind something that truly matters. To the people of Trinity Church, United Church of Christ in Canal Fulton, Ohio, I leave my heart with you, and I offer you my prayers for a beautiful future for each and every one of you. Now may the Lord bless you and keep you. May the Lord make his face shine on you and be gracious to you. May the Lord lift up his countenance on you and grant you his shalom, his peace, now and forever.
If this is my last song, if this is my final day, if tomorrow I'll be gone, what do I wanna say? If this is my last song, if it's my time to go, when my body's moved on, what will I have to show? No, not fortune or fame, they scatter to the wind. The things that make a name just don't matter in the end. But is the world a little more peaceful? Oceans and sky a little more blue? Is humankind a little bit wiser about the good that we can do? Does the sun shine a little bit brighter where before there was only rain? If so, then I'm glad I came. If these are my last words for all of the earth to hear, if all that I have ever been is about to disappear, if these are my last words, there's nothing that I need to say. I have only tried to serve. It's never been about talking anyway. So much hurt there is to heal, it's hard to understand. All I can hope to feel is that I am doing what I can. Is the world a little more peaceful? Oceans and sky a little more blue? Is humankind a little bit wiser about the good that we can do? Does the sun shine a little bit brighter where before there was only rain? If so, then I'm glad I came. Have I given hope to the hopeless? Has a hungry soul been fed? Has as a child stood a little bit taller 'cause of something that I said. Have I left a little kindness? Have I eased a little pain? If so, then I'm glad I came. For that, I'm so glad I came. If this is my last song, what do I leave behind? What do I pass on? If I am